back, and man, it's been a bit of time, hasn't it? Well, I got to tell you, I've been extremely busy the last 3 weeks. Me with clientele, sharing with them some of what I'm sharing now, some of it we're going to share later, but also gathering information about what should be shared today. And there are two themes to cover today. One of them is going to be nature, and the other is going to be the farmer's pail of milk. That's right, nature and the farmer's pail of milk. We have an economy right now that is doing differently than the market is. If you look at where the market is right now, if you just look at the number and think, gee, it's not that bad off, there's a lot of evidence to show the market's in a lot worse shape. And we're going to look at some of those things today. But moreover, one thing I really want to cover today is cash, going to cash. What's that mean? I've learned that means different things to different people. So I'm going to share with you what cash means. We say we're going to cash. Let me give you a clue. It doesn't mean we're sitting all in a dry bag of cash. We have intentions for those monies. So there's a lot of things affecting the market today. The 50, 200-day moving average, those are affecting things. Inverted yield curves are. But I'll tell you what, inflation really scares the market. Take a look at the slide here. This shows over 140 years, if you invested just during inflationary periods, you'd be represented by this blue line, you would not have made a dime. So the Fed doesn't like this inflation. So how do they stop it? How do they slow it down? What is inflation? Think about this. We have a steaming economy that's doing very, very good. And it's making the cost of goods and services go up. So they want to slow down the economy on purpose. That's right. That's why they're raising these rates. Over the next 3 sessions, it looks like they have a 50 basis points raise 3 months in a row. Pretty steep. This slide here also shows the black line where inflation is today. It's a straight line up we see right over here. Looking back in the past, previous years, in the 70s and 60s, we had some lines kind of like that as well. Now, the inverted yield curve is pretty significant. What it amounts to is that a longer-term bond, which should pay more, pays less than a shorter-term bond. Why is that a big deal? Think about your banker. If he were to pay you a certain amount of interest on money deposit that was greater than what he charged you when he loaned you the money, he'd go broke. So he wouldn't loan money. So if banks are faced with an inverted yield curve, they won't loan as much money, which slows down our economy. The borrowing spurs a lot of investment, a lot of jobs, but by slowing down that borrowing, we slow down the economy as well. Now, I've got 2 segments of time here, 2008 and 2002. These are bear markets. Be mindful that 2002 also included 2000 and 2001, although we're not showing that here. But you'll see at 2008, virtually everything went down pretty significantly during 2008. You had short-term treasuries that didn't lose money and gold. And then if you look at 2002, you'll see that the short-term treasuries made money, gold made a good bit of money, and that was about it. You had some returns with REITs and small cap value, small cap international, et cetera. But these bear markets can be tough places. So it's very, very important to be patient. Don't get impatient. Think about the predator that's out in the safari trying to catch a meal. They just don't rush out there. They'll wait minutes, hours, days to get their prey. We don't want to be too fast. Bear markets can leave no place to hide in the equity market. I'm showing there from 2000 to 02 and 7 through 9, and you'll see that the only thing in those 2 columns that had a return of the sectors was consumer staples. Every other sector was down. So if we're in cash right now, we might see here the market going up today and get real nervous about that because we're losing out, right? So now I want to go invest. Now wouldn't be a time to do that. As a matter of fact, since we went to cash back in February, the market has been up as much as 2.8 and down as much as over 7%. Not a good place to be. Now, having said all that, there can be some really good places to go during bear markets. You must time this. You must be patient. And a good example I show here is what happens with bonds. If it's a bad enough market where it's really gnarly, people will not want to invest in a market. They'll look for a safer place to go, which would be a bond. If you look here, there's these different periods we had bad markets that the bonds actually could make money. And so it's important to be aware of the fact that you don't have to make it just in stocks to make money. And there may be times, like we feel now, it's not there in stocks or bonds. It doesn't mean it will always be there, and it could change relatively quickly. Now, what we know right now, every single bond is selling below its moving average. So you wouldn't want to be in those right now. But there can be a time when we do want to be in those, and we're looking forward to being there to make some money during this bear market. So being in cash means we're in cash looking for opportunity, but we're not going to be imprudent about the way we go invest our dollars. I was talking to a client this morning that live over in San Antonio, and I said, you've got this much money. You're never going to spend most of your money. Hey, if you're my client today, you're not going to spend most of your money ever. As a matter of fact, this is a farmer and his pail of milk. All you're going to spend is the cream off the top. You're not going to touch the milk beneath the cream, just the cream. So the sloshiness of volatility really doesn't affect you as long as you're eating the cream. And what we're looking to do is reduce the volatility by getting out of the market when it's an untenable situation. So what I hope you take away from this is we're not blindly sitting in cash, and we won't always be in cash, but I will not put your money in until I have a fundamental and technical basis to justify it. Because if I don't do that, I'm not investing. I'm gambling, and I'm investing for you. Well, as always, look forward to hearing your comments and questions. Send them to me. I'll get right back to you. Take care.